cut this kameez out. It's quite a small kameez compared to some of the ones that you've seen me cut, because it's quite a small size. You really need these quite well fitted. Now, this is the original, and what I'm going to say about the original, I was once a comment was made on one of the videos. I had actually, somebody had unjustly did something to someone where they'd sold some item of garment, and it was actually a wedding lehenga, and they'd sort of deceived the buyer, and the buyer was a friend of mine. She'd come to me and complained. Now, I had actually emailed the company and tried to get the matter cleared up. It might have been a video that you may have seen. It was regarding a company in Pakistan who do ready-made clothing, and so I had criticized them for selling a lousy garment which I'd shown on video, and then later on, it's a long story. What had happened later on was that they wrote to me, and I took down the video after a while, and but it got them a lot of negative feedback. And really the aim was to try and get them to, push them to do justice to the injustice that they'd done. But instead of actually doing the justice, they wrote back to me and they said, you know, you went and criticized our garment. You don't even leave the best of the designers. So they'd actually criticized me for criticizing some designer. And the designer that I'd criticized was Sana Safinaz, where one of her suits, it was an original which I did, and it was on a loan, and the loan had a very bad bias in the print. And a lot of the time, you know, when you're selling garments that are so expensive, these things should be looked at, because the customer is unaware, and really it's the person who's sewing it who becomes aware of these things. But the designers take that challenge on, because when they're selling something so good, they should look or hire someone to look at the manufacturing that is up to, you know, scratch. So this is Mina Hassan original, and okay, so what's my complaint against this one? Well, basically, when you get embroidery done on a fabric, it's either on a cross grain or it's on a straight fabric. Now here, my disappointment in this is that they have gone partially cross grain and partially against the grain. Okay, so what you see on the back one, this is on a chiffon, which is, this is a crinkle georgette, so it's quite obvious on this. The fall on this is right, this is how it should be. But then when they've gone and made the embroidery, done the embroidery on the front panel, what they've done is they've gone across the grain. So basically what you've got is you've got the georgette, crinkle georgette, which goes along this direction on the one panel, and then you've got it going on the opposite direction on the other panel, and that sometimes creates problems when a dress is being worn. So if it's quite a small size, you tend to carry it off. If it's a large size, then it does present a problem. So if you're buying these quite expensive garments, then be wary of the fact that these are, one daman is against the grain and one is across the grain, and that can have repercussions on especially sizes where the sizes are large sizes. Okay, so we're having to make do with whatever we've got. This is the front daman of the kameez. I have cut it to almost to size. I have made it quite wide because I am going to, it's quite a small size, it's a size 8 probably. Now the border trim, this is the border trim, and I've actually, this is supplied in Plentiful, so I will be applying this on the front and the back. Now another thing with this is now is the kameez are quite short, and basically it is going to take, I might actually just make this go higher, because if I take it lower, what's going to happen is the kameez is going to come out too long, and I don't think she's going to want the kameez too long. So what I'll do is I'll go in slightly deeper at the top. I'll actually do this right now. I don't know, going from such a long kameez to short kameez, it's actually makes you just a little bit cautious. I think it's slightly difficult to take that plunge at the moment. It's still a little bit difficult because we're still in early days off. But I am going to take that much off from the top. So really that was just a little bit of a minor sideline complaint. Now I will attach the border on and cut the lining. I've cut the sleeves and so on, and then basically, yeah, do the neckline and stuff. And then we're going to go on to cutting the trouser. Let's